Hey everybody, this is the Facebook Ads with the Twang podcast. I'm your host, Ben Blackman, and today I'm taking LinkedIn and Facebook ads on head to head. Here comes episode 71. Facebook Ads with the Twang is dedicated to taking the often overcomplicated process of creating simple, successful Facebook ads, breaking them down step by step in less than 10 minutes at a time. Let's get started. Welcome everybody to episode 71, and we're talking Facebook ads versus LinkedIn ads. And I tell you, this is a really tough one to do because comparing those two things is hard because they serve different markets and they're trying to accomplish different things. So when people go on LinkedIn, they have one kind of thought process, and when they go on Facebook, they go on have another process, right? So it's hard to compare them, but I really want to compare the ad platforms and kind of give you my opinion on which ones work better for certain things and so forth. So, to help you make a good decision on where you want to run your ads, because I get asked a lot about, which platform people should use, because a lot of people come to me and say, well, my ideal client, they're definitely on LinkedIn. I just don't know if they're on Facebook. And so we're just going to kind of talk about those kind of things and dispel some myths, hopefully. And if you're watching this on the video, you're going to get to see a few things inside my LinkedIn account, and then a couple things about setup and that kind of stuff. So I'm doing this because we talk about Facebook ads so much that I wanted to make sure that you knew that there's that there's other things out there that you can do and try if you want to. I don't suggest that you go out and try to do them all at once, okay? But I do suggest that you focus on one, master it, and then move on to the next one if you want to kind of start scaling up. So the first thing I was going to kind of talk to you about is LinkedIn has this guide, and the link will be in the show notes and everything, but and you just go to onefocusmarketing.com/episode 71. That's all lowercase, episode 71, and the numerals not written out. And in the guide, it's kind of handy, but it just really kind of goes over the basics of what is available in LinkedIn. Okay, what kind of ads are available? It talks about the types, naming, targeting, testing, what kind of creative it thinks that you should use, budgeting, bidding, that kind of thing. And I'm going to talk to you just a little bit about the budgeting and bidding here in just a second. But some of the pros of using LinkedIn there's over 590 million professionals, as they put it, on LinkedIn. And so, I guess it depends on how you want to define professional, right? But they say there's 590 million. So that's kind of cool. So your targeting can be done by like title, by company, industry, decision makers. As I don't know exactly what that means or how they define that, but they have a category called decision makers, and then C-level executives and so forth. You can't target by things like male or female or age or anything like that, but with LinkedIn that may not be as necessary either. Okay, so the claim by LinkedIn is that there's more professionals, and so that in turn equals more buying power. Don't know how much I actually agree with that, okay, because people find money for things that they want to buy, okay? Doesn't matter if they're professional or not, or quote-unquote professional or not. So that seems kind of misleading in my opinion. They also have a cool thing called in-mail ads. So if you've been on LinkedIn at all, you've probably seen in-mail ads. I get them not all the time, but fairly regular. So it's kind of a cool thing. So I'm looking in here, and if you're watching the video, you can see a couple of in-mail ads here where it says sponsored. But that's kind of cool thing to get, actually into somebody's inbox, which is different than like using Facebook Messenger, right, where it pops up on their screen. It's more like an email that they got. Okay, and so a lot of people don't like that. They think it's spammy or whatever, but you have to remember that LinkedIn is for professionals. Okay, that's how it's designed. It's designed for us to interact with each other in a business environment. That's what it's for. It's not there just to be a social gathering place like Facebook. So the fact that you're, messaging somebody or sending them in, ads in their InMail or whatever, that's what you're supposed to be doing. So, we kind of have to take the mindset of it's being spammy out of there. Now, it can be spammy, right? And they have some pretty good filters and things to kind of keep that from happening a whole lot. But still, some things are going to get through sooner or later. Now, some of the other features other than InMail, okay, which again I love, is you have sponsored content, which is kind of like the news feed, right? So I'm scrolling through it right now, and I see an Allstate ad. Okay, so they're targeting me. Don't know what it's for exactly, but they're targeting me with a video very similar to what they would be doing on Facebook. Okay. Then there's text ads, which I don't know if you've seen these, but this is on desktop. I don't think they're on mobile though, if I'm not mistaken. But the text ads appear kind of close to the top of kind of your home page, and they're kind of deceiving because most of the ones I've seen haven't been very impactful, and I've never really tried them, so I don't know if they work well or not. It just doesn't seem like it would. Doesn't seem like it's going to get enough attention. Okay. Then you have other things like display ads, dynamic ads. I don't know if you've seen the ads where you can see like it'll have like your image on one side of it, and then it'll have the advertiser on the other side or something like that, and it says ad in it, and if you're watching the video you can see it here where it's talking about the Memphis teacher residency, and it's asking me to follow that, and it is an ad, and so forth. So I kind of like those because that kind of brands it, like it puts your face there, and you're more likely to recognize your face and see that and take a look at it. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Now the cons, and this is a pretty big con with LinkedIn, is the cost. So this is LinkedIn's example. Okay, this is their example. What they're saying is if you pay $10 per click. Now, if you're in Facebook, you know that a lot of times we talk about conversions, like people opting in for your lead magnet or something like that. What they're talking about is $10 per click, not per conversion necessarily, but $10 per click times 100 clicks equals $1,000 per day in ads, right? So if you get 2% of that out of the 100 clicks, which are actually leads, that doesn't mean they actually purchased or got on your list, then that's 2 leads. So that's a pretty expensive proposition for you. To put it maybe in our terms a little bit better, at least from a Facebook standpoint, if you're paying $10 per click on a lead magnet and you're converting the lead magnet at 50%, then you're paying $20 per each person to get on your, to opt into your lead magnet. That's a lot. Okay, so that's a con. Most people aren't in that position. The other thing is tracking. So LinkedIn's pixel and stuff, the way it works is not nearly as good as Facebook's. I mean, it's getting better, don't get me wrong. And there's a couple of cool things that LinkedIn is doing, which I literally just saw, and I'm going to show you if you're, for those of you who are watching, you can see right now that I'm showing some of the ads that you can select, as I was talking before, whether they're sponsored content or text ads or something like this. But there's a new thing that they're doing. They're beta testing. It's called new objective-based ad creation. Objective-based is what we use in Facebook. So this is really kind of a good thing for LinkedIn. I still don't know if it's going to make sense for most people because of the cost, but nevertheless. And so when you click on the objective-based, then you come up with things that are more similar to Facebook that we can kind of understand better. So awareness, like you can run brand awareness campaigns, which those are coming. You can run website visits, which would be akin to link clicks, video views, engagement ads, lead generation, and then website conversions, which that's coming. But that's kind of, and that's kind of how we are used to it in our Facebook ads, right? But that still doesn't change the cost. Okay, these new things are not going to change what it's costing. All right, this is just another way to set up the ads that's more familiar to us, and I think that was probably a good move on their part. So if we talk about Facebook versus LinkedIn head to head, if I compare the two, let's talk about the interface. The interface for LinkedIn, until I just saw this, I would have said is a lot more clunky. I haven't been through the new interface. This literally just came up. It looks a lot better. But initially it's a little clunky, and while it's under beta, testing. I don't know if it's a good option or not yet. Facebook, of course, is clunky. It just is. To me, it's not intuitive very much, and I don't, think it's awesome. So I think that's really a tie. The ad types for Facebook, I have to give to Facebook because it has a lot more options. Now, with what it's talking about with this objective-based stuff with LinkedIn, that does sort of level the playing field. But one thing that's really good about LinkedIn has to do with, again, the InMail that you have, that option. Targeting, well, targeting depends. Okay, so the winner ultimately to me would be LinkedIn because you can target executives, C-level executives, C-suite, all that stuff. You can do that, right? You can target by job title and all this, and get in front of a lot more people with those things. The number of users, well, obviously Facebook. I mean, that way outpaces LinkedIn, and the cost. Facebook is still much better. So the winner really ultimately is Facebook. The thing is with Facebook is that if they're on LinkedIn, they're on Facebook. Okay, it's just a matter of targeting right and having the right offer. Okay, you may have to go through more people to get to the right person, but even so, at this point, it's more cost efficient to do it on Facebook. Okay, just remember though, on Facebook, people are there for entertainment purposes initially. On LinkedIn, they're not. They're not there to be entertained per se, so you can be a little more direct, a little more forward with what you're trying to do. So I'm going to give you kind of a strategy that you can use if you want to use LinkedIn though, but it's organic. So you can search for people matching who you're looking for. So you go into LinkedIn and you type in, that you're looking for a life coach, right? I don't know, that's what it would be. And so when you do that, what you're looking for, there's a button or a link up there that says people. Okay, and so what we're looking is for people who are just life coaches. And then you may have to, if you have a whole bunch of people on your list or that you're connected with that are life coaches, then you're going to have to, kind of go on down the list quite a ways and find some people. And you can kind of look at their job description, and then you click on their name. You don't click connect. Okay, you click on their name. And when you click on their name, then they're going to get notified that somebody looked at their profile. So here's what you do. If they come back and look at your profile, because you looked at theirs first, then you ask them to connect. Then once you do that, you go ahead and InMail them directly. That's all you have to do. Now there's a limit to how many emails you can send per day and that kind of thing, but that's the easiest way to do it. You just message them as soon as they look at you again, and then you connect with them. It's really that simple, and it's a very powerful way to get a conversation started. So the conclusion, it really depends on what you're trying to accomplish. It also depends on what your offer is. You're not going to sell a $400 product on LinkedIn. Okay, that's going to be a tough thing to do in mass. You are going to be able to sell a $4,000 product or service. That's a different ballgame. Okay, so you just have to know your key performance indicators of what you can spend versus what you can take in. So that's all I really have on LinkedIn versus Facebook. I'm really glad you joined me today. We're talking about stuff like this in the Marketing with the Twang membership. You can go to marketingwiththetwang.com if you'd like to take a look at that and join us there. I am going to have a LinkedIn with the Twang course in there. It's all organic. I might talk a little bit about the paid side of it, but it's mostly just going to be organic. So that's it. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys on episode number 72. Talk to you then.